Maryville Connects. We are excited to start out this new year with our first episode of Maryville Connects. I'm Amy Kendal, and just quite delighted to start this year out with a wonderful Principal Whitney McIntosh from St. Angela Elementary Catholic School here in the Austin community. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the joys of Maryville's opportunities is connecting with lots of different people within the community. And in the last couple years, we have partnered with St. Angela to offer school parent support. And in our role, we are able to provide resources, provide parent cafes. And St. Angela is a very special place with a very rich history in the Austin area. And before we get to all that, I think most importantly, we need to learn more about our wonderful Principal McIntosh, who has her own story and journey to Chicago that I think will be very interesting as we also think about St. Angela and its mission and why the education of St. Angela is important. So let's begin. Whitney, tell us a little bit about your process and journey of getting to be a principal over at St. Angela.
Definitely, thank you. But this is not most importantly, guys. Honestly, I'm just one person in a big story about St. Angela, so I'm excited to tell you a little bit about the school. But a little bit about me is I am actually originally from Florida, and I went to the University of Florida for my undergrad experience. And during my time there, I was greeted by this organization and learned about this organization called Teach for America. And the heart of that organization was really to ensure that all scholars in America had the opportunity to an equal and quality education. And so that's actually how I started in the work in Houston, Texas, where I taught, and I was actually a STEM teacher. So I taught math and science, which is something really cool because that's something that we brought to St. Angela this year. We have STEM classes. And so we're really excited to provide that to our scholars and to our community. And so that's something that's near and dear to my heart because that's what I taught. And then since I've been a teacher, I've had the opportunity to do a little bit of everything actually in education. I think I've been an instructional coach. I've been a teacher coach at a district level as well as at a campus level. I've been an assistant principal. I've been a principal, as well as I've worked for what you would call CMOs or charter management organizations, as well as education management organizations, where I've done academic coaching as well as principal support and principal coaching. But now I'm here at St. Angela, and I think one of the things that I really love about being at St. Angela is it brings me back to that community feel. And I think that's what always draws me back to being at a single site organization or a single site campus. Is something as special as St. Angela. And I could say so many things, but I'll wait till we get there about what makes our community so special.
You know, and when I first met you, I said I really admired your leap in faith that, you know, coming from Florida and, you know, taking on all of these different roles and moving to a new community and really embracing what has been built and really trying to strengthen it. And this year, I will say the mascot for St. Angela is the home of the Wildcats.
Yeah, go
and you know, let's talk about what that means in terms of this week is special. Yeah. It is Catholic Schools Week, and today Principal McIntosh and I spent some time together because it's specifically designed for a day to highlight parents. Yeah. And so we had donuts and coffee this morning as parents arrived, and the kids were able to see some of the parents at the school, which, you know, that's often the case, yeah. which is a great sign. And Catholic Schools Week really is designed to highlight the importance of a Catholic education and the components of what that looks like. And I don't know if you want to add more to that or what's happening this week.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate you bringing that up. And one of the things I think that's really important is the motto of St. Angela is build community anywhere and everywhere you go. And that was after St. Angela Mariachi. That was always her theme when she was alive. And so because of that, that is why we embraced that name for our campus. And so I think that's something even for me, like everywhere I went, it's always been this concept of building community anywhere you go. And so just like that, we this morning invited parents out and we gave them donuts and just enjoyed our morning ceremonies with them as well as coffee. And we did that with one of our community partners, which is Maryville. And it's been amazing. Amy, you are at Maryville, and they actually support us with parent engagement and parent and community events, which is super exciting, as we are actually building a community of parents that come out and support those events. And it was amazing to have a parent come out today as well and serve other parents.
Yeah, I think that's really unique. I think when parents are thinking about a school community and where their children are going to be, they really do want to know who the other parents are, wondering about their values. You know, our children, as they grow, they're going to be having friendships.
Yes.
Are they able to go to somebody else's house? Can they do an activity after school together? And the only way to do that is to create some of those little opportunities. And I know when I was leaving today, tomorrow is even another special day. You highlighted the name of the school is St. Angela, and that is the Feast of St. Angela is tomorrow. And I know the school is preparing for a special service in the morning and give a rich history about the background of the school, which I know it's over 100 years old.
Yes, definitely. We were founded in 1920, so we're 106 years old, which is really exciting. And during this time, we've really revamped and given our scholars an opportunity to come together to revamp our what do you call it? Like not only our mascot, but our logo. And to celebrate that, and it really centers around us being founded in 1920. And so tomorrow we will celebrate some of our scholars that wrote some essays to celebrate that theme around building community everywhere you go, and specifically how are they doing that in their community here on our campus. It will also have some of our priests that have been a part of our campus in the past come forward with us, as well as we'll be doing a prayer service at 8:30. So we're inviting our families out, as well as anyone, and we are doing registration actually for anyone that's interested in our campus for $50 this week, which is such an amazing deal because this can get up to $150, and there'll be a gradual increase. And so we're encouraging anyone that would like to come out and enjoy our community, learn about what it means to be a part of St. Angela community tomorrow, as well as on Wednesday when we'll have a parent community member coming out and speaking to our scholars about what it means and why it's important to be a part of Catholic schools and how that made a difference in her life. And so we're really excited to share that with our community. And then you were talking about St. Angela and how what also makes it unique is since that time, our alumni base, as well as our parents, a lot of our parents are alumni, as well as we have alumni that work at our school. So there's a part of that community there. And then of course, before school, we after a before school community where scholars can gather before school and support parents that need daycare or services before school, as well as after school. We have an amazing after school program that's hosted at our school to 6 p.m. to support our community and for those parents that work late. And so we're just always looking for unique ways to invite just like families in, as well as to support families before, after school, and during school. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, and I think what you're describing is that St. Angela is a beautiful example of safety for children and a nurturing place for a parent to say, you know what, when I'm away from them and they're learning, this is the place I want them to come to every day, and I can trust the adults who are going to be around them, and you know, they're encouraged to learn and do it in a fun way, which, you know, one of the aspects of raising children these days is it's complicated. And you and your whole team are really important individuals guiding some of those ways and giving information. And obviously it's a two-way street, but it's a beautiful thing that you're able to really develop that team and provide, the STEM opportunities that are new. And I know that there's an after-school music program that you have there. And it was really neat because last year I remember they had like a little concert at the end of the school year to show what they've been learning. And so those experiences, like the one at Christmas time,
Yes, definitely.
you had a concert, the kids sang.
Yes.
And as you well know, the entire gym was full of parents.
It was.
And that was really a delight to see. And they were just so proud. And, that takes a lot of intention and work to put that together.
Yeah.
What would you say, you've been a principal now for a while. In your role, what is the most rewarding part of being a principal?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's so much that's rewarding about the role of being a school leader. I think for me, it's the social and emotional growth that you see for scholars, but also the academic growth that you see with scholars. And I remember at the end of my very first year, even being a teacher, that's, I think, what sold me when I saw the growth that the scholars made. And it's really important and special even right now. We're in the middle of the school year, and we take this exam called iReady exam at our campus, and our scholars have reached 65% of their academic goals already. And so you want them to, reach 100%. At the middle of the school year, you want them to be at 50%. And so we're 15% past that already. And so we're really excited about just pouring into our scholars, but we also give them time to reflect on their faith. And that's why that social and emotional learning is so important, because I think at the beginning of the school year, families, you drop your scholars off and you're hoping they're going to learn these things and achieve all these things. And at the end of the school year, when it comes times for those celebrations and those awards and ceremonies, and you're recalling all of the growth they've made throughout the year, just raising that and supporting, because like you said, it's such a complicated thing as a parent, and you need a community that's going to come around and support your scholar. It's just such an amazing experience to see what they accomplish over the course of a school year, and especially when they're going above and beyond and making superb growth, right? That makes me really excited. And then being able to make sure, and I think as a parent, that social and emotional growth, I go back to that because our community and our teachers and our staff, they trust their children to be there. So I have teachers and staff that their kids are there because they trust the community and what we're providing for their students, as well as I have teachers that have their nieces, their nephews there, and grandchildren. And so when we think about those things, I think that provides like a great faith in me about the type of people that work in the environment at St. Angela.
Yeah, I think that's a really unique aspect that I'm glad you highlighted, because that really frames it as a place of almost family, really. Yeah. And that uniqueness is important and invaluable because you're getting them ready for going to high school.
Yeah.
And what kind of, along with the academics, we know in our world today, the character building, what am I trying to say? The character building component of respect, responsibility, kindness, those are aspects that all educators are talking about. But what does that really look like? And I was really touched again this morning and reminded when one of the teachers mentioned that the kids were going to be writing letters to veterans, and that sense of giving back. Definitely. And really understanding that there is a world out there that's also taking care of us in their own way, and how do we give thanks to that? So that's just another example of looking beyond and learning. We've talked a lot about some special things. Are there any other unique aspects of St. Angela you would want to share?
Definitely. One of the things that you just mentioned was just how it takes a community to support the school. And we have a lot of community supporters as well as different donors and grants that supports our campus. What's really exciting is we have a board member, Dan Jordan. He supports by leading our soccer team. In addition to that, he supports with getting donations in for the school. So we actually just had an event where there was a bowling event and there was fundraising for the campus. And he's also an alumni for the campus. And so our alumni are consistently coming back and supporting the campus. And then in addition to that, we're partnering with different organizations like the Hilton Foundation, and they're supporting us with like that social emotional learning piece for our scholars, not only enriching the campus physically and making sure it's a beautiful place for scholars, but also making sure that we have the resources to support them and celebrate their wins, especially when they have those academic wins, by throwing celebrations for them as well as having pep rallies. And then I think being a campus that opened in the 1920s and having such a strong alumni base and a strong community that works there, this concept of tradition and having a traditional education is something that is really important to St. Angela. And I think in a lot of places, it's a lost art right now. And in a time where there's so much change and unrest, you want your scholars to go to a school that provides a steady learning environment and something that we're used to that made us so successful over those years. And so that's one of the things that I think St. Angela does a phenomenal job at, and something that I definitely want to make sure that we share.
Yeah, no, tradition and embedding that in your current culture. And today, this morning, in the service this morning, you could see that dynamic. I mean, the kids' acknowledgement of the teachers and the students' birthdays.
Yes.
That you are special, we do love you, we do care about you, and that's on every Monday morning.
Yeah, definitely.
And that acknowledgement of, we see you. It was also pretty neat that the kids, each grade was wearing different colors.
Yes.
And what's that about? It's just something fun to do?
Yes, it was an amazing idea for Catholic Schools Weeks where scholars are wearing their class colors to just show their support. And it also represented the colors in the rainbow and how God made his promise to us. And to us, the people, the citizens of the world, we're part of God's community. But in addition to that, we're part of our school community. And so we wore the different colors of the rainbow to represent that, but also showing a little school pride and class color pride. And so different grades wore different colors. So for example, kindergarten wore yellow and they were yellowed out, which was really, really exciting. And I think that's something, when it goes back to tradition, that they'll remember and that'll stick with them, because when I was in high school, we wore class colors. And so every year, freshman year, senior year, sophomore year, junior year, you knew and looked forward to, I'm going to be a sophomore. Sophomores wear their red shirts and you get to decorate your red shirt. And it was all about like that school pride. And so I think there's just so many different dynamics that brought out today that I was really excited to see.
Yeah. So when you think about a potential parent, looking at opportunities in the Austin area for education.
Yes.
What would you say would be something that they should consider when they're looking at St. Angela?
Yeah, I think the first thing is to know that a private education is accessible to your scholar. One of the things that I think people think about is like, my income level, or I'm not sure if I could go to a private school. But I think that's one of the things that we work really, really hard. We have this amazing director of operations. She's been there for years. Her name is Patrice, and she really works with families to ensure that anyone has access, if they would like access to a private education, and also to know that we work with this organization that provides Action for Children, which provides funding to support attending with private education, and we have this awesome business manager. So we're willing to figure it out. And so don't ever let finances be the reason that you don't consider St. Angela.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because St. Angela is under the umbrella of Big Shoulders Plus Fund, and provides, quite a bit of support in that area, and prides themselves on being able to open up those opportunities with some financial support. Yes. So, access to those resources, so that way children have the doors open for them is a beautiful thing.
Yes, definitely. There are so many scholarships out there. And so just apply and let's see what happens. Yeah.
And just the other thing, I was just kind of curious, is there any one aspect that parents should look at other than finances, which is a key piece, but what other maybe one or two things would you want them to maybe ask you as the principal when they come in?
Yeah, definitely. One, if they come, we'll definitely take them on a tour. But also, we really center Catholic faith. And so we have a core religion class that every scholar gets every single day. And that also helps support with their Catholic, with their social and emotional learning, which I think is so important today. And then in addition to that, we're really working to build scholar voice and providing an opportunity for scholar imprint and making sure that they have an opportunity to express themselves while getting the coaching and training on how to do that and what is a really safe space. And so I think there's a lot of benefit to thinking of when you think about a school like St. Angela and then it being a community school. I think once you get here, you're finding your community school. It becomes your family school for the rest of your family's life. And so we're just really excited about the opportunities that we can provide.
You know, we're talking about the inside, but I also want to point out the outside of the school. It has a whole space with grass, and the kids can run, and they can do the soccer, and there's a playground there. And, you know, grass is important for our children to be able to get dirty and, you know, roll around. And, you know, not all schools have that capacity. And, you know, it's well taken care of by volunteers and, you know, supporters of the school, and really try and keep that outside space safe and welcoming for you know, the neighborhood that surrounds the school, because it really is a beautiful neighborhood school. If parents are wanting more information, how would they find out about St. Angela?
Definitely. You can find us lots of places. We are on all social media platforms, so you can find us definitely on LinkedIn, as well as Facebook, as well as Instagram. In addition to that, we also have a website, which is just stangela.org, so you can check us out there. In addition to that, you can also come by and have a tour or stop by one of these events that we're having and take care or take advantage of one of the specials that we are running.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I'll just add a phone number here, just in case. We have Miss Huckleberry, who is in the office, who is right there to answer the phone, and the number is 773-626-2655. And, you know, the St. Angela website also has some very valuable information, and I think you can go on and click in your information and somebody will respond to you as you're considering, you know, your child's education, and whether that would be in pre-K, because you go from pre-K 3 up to 8th grade, correct?
Yes, we're early childhood to 8th grade, and then we support our scholars into getting into high schools, which is really exciting. And actually, as you were saying, we're a part of that Big Shoulders Network. Our scholars were actually ranked #1 into getting into high-performing high schools for the school year last year. So we're really excited about the work that we do in that area.
Well, and the other thing that is really helpful for the kids, and as you're describing this for tomorrow, the alumni keep coming back, you know, and checking out the sports, and you can see that it's kind of home to them in their own way, even as they're growing into high school. Last year when I was there, we had some kids in college who were coming back to see how things are going. And so if you're looking for an opportunity for your child to grow and thrive and learn in a way that's going to help them be a future leader, because we need wonderful future leaders. I'm sitting next to one here, and you know, what a role model for our youth to recognize that, you know, if you get a good education, there's a lot of different opportunities for all of us. And you know, that's important these days as we embark on, you know, all the different challenges that go on. But that Catholic social justice teaching that you're describing is one in which many families are seeking. And so we have one last minute left. So in that minute, is there anything else that you would want to highlight about the school in terms of the beyond the academics, sports, or any other activities?
Yeah, definitely sports. I didn't even name all of them, but for sports, we do have a dance. We also have a cheerleading squad. We have basketball. And our basketball team, some of them are actually undefeated. I believe 2 of our teams are undefeated right now.
Okay.
So they're doing really, really well in their sports league. We're very proud of them. And then, let's see, I talked about scholarships. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but you did talk about the yard space and the work that we've done to keep it up to date. And so even this year, we've done a lot of building updates, which is really exciting. In addition to that, there's some outdoor learning spaces where there's picnic areas, so our teachers are able to take our scholars outside when the weather is nice and warm to enjoy learning outdoor. And then we've had 2 service days alongside Big Shoulders where not only alumni, donors, as well as I believe PNC Bank came out, and they helped mulch out the playground area for the younger scholars. And so that's been an amazing thing as we continue to make sure that our area is up to date in an exciting and nice place for scholars.
Well, so what this sounds to me like you need to come and visit St. Angela and the Austin area, stangela.org. And I can't thank you enough for your time to share the vibrancy of the school. And we look forward to seeing you again. So thank you for joining us this month for Maryville Connects. Have a good evening.